Well, it's an honor to be here with my good friend, Senator Ted Cruz. The Senator has devoted his life to fighting for the people of Texas, and I've been honored to work for and alongside him. And I'm glad to be here today, here in Central Texas in Bernie, with other friends and people that we've come to know here today at the round table who are putting a face on the reality of what happens when you have a wide open border. And that was what today is really about the impact on Texans, the impact on human beings, the impact on the very migrants that some of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, in the false name of compassion, say open borders are good for them. When we heard today about young men and women, little girls, little boys getting branded, getting burned, getting abused by cartels along our border, the most powerful nation in the history of the world, and that is happening on our watch because of, frankly, the embarrassing policies of this administration that are allowing this to occur and allowing cartels to be empowered. One of the reasons we're here in Bernie is because of conversations we've been having with law enforcement here, dealing now with a significant uptick in traffic. As we sit here right now looking out the window, we can see Interstate 10. And what we know is, by statistics, is that while we've been here, somebody's being trafficked up Interstate 10 while we're sitting here. We can talk about the 9 immigrants that were in a car just a few months ago, 2 bound up in the trunk, the car being driven by a citizen, an American citizen employee of the Cartel of Laredo, operating out of Nuevo Laredo. And we had 9 immigrants in there. They were all being taken to a stash house in Houston, Texas to be put into the sex and labor trafficking trade. Think about that. Right here in the United States of America, that's happening. We had detailed conversations here, talking to our friend Jason Jones, who's on the front lines, looking into what the cartels are doing, what's happening, the fact that they have full operational control of our border throughout Tamaulipas, from the Gulf of Mexico all the way up to Big Bend. And we talked today about fentanyl. We talk about the horrors of what is happening in our communities, where our children, our loved ones, are dying. 92,000 opioid deaths now this year. We're seeing a massive spike. Look at the data. This is a wake-up call for every parent, every person that cares about their community, that we have this happening because of the power of cartels shoving these China-created and Mexican cartel-created products into the bloodstreams of our children. When are we going to wake up and fight this crisis that is happening right now in real time? And one final point. As we sit here and we watch the horrors of what is unfolding in Afghanistan and the embarrassment that this administration is carried out, and what that means to our men and women in uniform who have been sacrificing for us. And just yesterday, we see a Black Hawk helicopter flying over Kabul with an individual, presumably an ally of the United States, hanging, being flown over Kabul. That we see happening, and we're horrified by it. Those kinds of things are happening right now at our border by organizations with just as much disregard for human beings, and just as much disregard for the rule of law, and just as much disregard for the well-being of the United States. And we need to wake up to that. And just as this administration has abandoned our position in Afghanistan and abandoned Bagram and abandoned what our men and women in uniform are doing, they're abandoning the people of Texas at our border, and we're here to shine a light on it.